A story of triumph, a story of overcoming obstacles and challenges. Miss Marilyn Phipps came from overseas with nothing but the odds against her. She was asked to be a keynote speaker for this event and share her story and explain to everyone that your success is possible. Everyone, Miss Marilyn Phipps.
I came from Central America, from Honduras. I started to look for opportunities, right? As many of us has done when we come here to this country. So I landed a job as a cashier. So imagine not speaking any English, right? Coming from a foreign country, that's crazy. A lot of people told me that you're not gonna be able to do that, right? And so today they told me, come and speak and say something to encourage us. The year is ending, and now we're gonna go to a new year, 2023, right? So we have to have some goals and we have to achieve them. So how we go by achieving those goals? Like in my case, like I say, I have to achieve so many things coming from a foreign country, looking for a job, not speaking any English, and then getting into a cashier job, learning the language. Those are crazy stuff, right? If you think about it, it's a lot for someone to have to achieve and embrace. And I know some of you are related with me because you have to go through those things too. So guess what? I did that, right? I got the cashier job. Then I say, no, this is not it. I have to get another thing. And then I started studying for tax preparer. So I went that route, doing taxes. But you know, the whole thing that I want to tell you is that a lot of people told me, no, you cannot do that, you know, it's too much, you're not even speaking English. I still have that fake accent, right? You can tell. So imagine I did the tax prepare thing and I achieved that, and then I went to work for corporate America and I started working as a purchasing agent. So how I landed into real estate investing, that's what you guys want to know. Yes? Okay, let me tell you how I landed into real estate investing. I got laid off from corporate America when I was doing purchasing, and I was doing purchasing full time. But I hated that job. How many of you have a job that you hate? Raise your hand. I mean, come on. So you know what I'm talking about, right? Working for someone, going at 9 o'clock, punching in, then leaving at 5 o'clock, and it's the same thing over and over. But you know why I hated that job? Why? Because I have 2 children. I was a single mom. The kids were the first ones at school and the last ones to be picked up. You know how hard that is as a mother? I mean, that was terrible, right? I did that for 10 years, purchasing, right? And one day, they let me off. I felt like a little bird, like I have some wings and now I can fly and I can go to places and meet people and do things. It was crazy. And instead of being sad or nervous, I was actually happy. I actually have some butterflies. And then I started going to networking events, places like this, learning about investing. I went to an event and they were talking about how to flip a house without having to have any money. Because I was broke. Remember, I was unemployed, broke, single mom. I didn't have no credit. My credit cards were tapped. It was challenging. So guess what? Now I have a new challenge. Not having money and trying to invest into real estate. That sounds nuts, isn't it? Right, for real. It was totally crazy. Another challenge that I need to embrace. So that's what I did. Now at this point, you guys know that I cannot be challenged because I make stuff happen. And that's also you guys. I want you to do the same thing. I want you to be challenged and overcome those challenges. So how to invest without no money. So I sit down in one presentation just like you guys, and then somebody was talking about wholesaling real estate, how to find properties, put them under contract and assign those contracts for a fee, making $5, $10, $20, $30,000 assignments. And so I never heard those numbers before. I was like, is this real? Is this like a real business? I listened to the whole presentation and somebody said, if you wholesale houses for a year and stay doing it and you focus on that, then everything in investing is gonna be easy because you're gonna learn how to negotiate, how to put the houses under contract, how to check the repairs of the properties, the ARVs, and that's the basics on real estate investing, right? So guess what? That's what I did. Exactly that. I decided that was it. I felt like these butterflies again. I feel like, oh my gosh, I gotta do this. I gotta figure it out. Just like many of you, maybe having closed a deal, I felt like this is it. I gotta focus. I gotta do this. And I have to figure it out. So I went events after events. Finally, I met a guy that was doing 3 deals a month. And he was a wholesaler. And so he stood up in the front of the crowd and said, hey, I'm doing wholesaling. If you guys want any properties, let me know. I didn't want a property. I wanted an opportunity, right? So guess what I did? I approached that guy and I say, hey, his name actually is Rick. I say, Rick, can I partner with you somehow? I am bilingual. I can help you with your clients. I can answer your calls. Whatever you want me to do for your company, that's what I want to do because I want to learn how to do wholesaling. And he was my hero. I was looking at him like, wow, right? He said, yeah, sure, let's meet. So I went and I meet with Rick and wow, that was the day that actually my life changed for the better. But guess what? I have another challenge now. Rick said, I have 3 pages of buyers. Call them and see how much money they have to invest. And I was like, really? I'm gonna have to call all of them? Yes, just call them and see how much they have. And then once they give you a number, we're gonna go find the house. Isn't that crazy? I started actually with the buyer instead of the deal. So it was the opposite, right? For whatever you have heard before. So anyway, I call everybody, right? Calling. One guy said, I have $25,000 to invest. Remember, it was in 2012. I was like, 20,000, 25,000. How you find a house with $25,000? It was like a joke. Another lady had 100,000 to invest. And this lady was picky. She wanted the house for her, but she did have 100,000. So I thought, well, might be easier to get a house for 100,000, right? Than the one for 25,000. Guess what? I was wrong. I told him, hey, this guy is looking for a Spanish neighborhood, a Spanish community, how we can find the house. So he went to a website that still today, I still use it to find deals. Rick took a house from that website for $20,000. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And we sell it to this guy for $25,000. This guy went to look at the house and he said, yes, he liked it. I'm like, what? Are you freaking kidding me? I was like, for real? And he's like, yeah, for real. What is the next step? I'm like, I was trying to not to act so excited, right? And I said, let me call my partner. And I got the phone. And then I called Rick. I was just jumping and I couldn't believe it. And he's like, hey, just tell him that he has to put a deposit, $2,000. And then we're going to give him the assignment. I'm like, and where should I meet him? In the Starbucks. Back then, I used to use a Starbucks to meet my clients. Now I have an office, right? But before, it was a Starbucks. So anyway, I went to a Starbucks. He said, okay. I bring him the assignment. He signed it. And that's how I did my first deal. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Actually, I find a house for $20,000, sell it to the client for $25,000 in the area that he was looking for. Guess what? That house is worth at least $150,000 these days. Isn't that crazy how much the value of the market have been going up in the last couple of years? So anyway, that was my first wholesale deal. Guess what? I overcame that obstacle. It was on when I did my first wholesale deal. So $5,000 that it was for real. I was like, okay, that's it. I'm in. So I have the power, right? I have confidence. I can do this. I start doing deals with Rick. A lot of deals. Then he say, you know what? I think you're good now. You can do this now. And I'm like, for real? I mean, you're telling me we're not gonna do deals together? And he's like, yes. I'm like, what? I felt again like, oh my gosh, another challenge that I have to overcome. I was now doing deals with this guy and now I am in my own. So guess what? After that, I launched a company named Sukasa USA LLC, which is a wholesaling company. And we're doing 3 to 5 deals a month, wholesaling. Isn't that nice? Oh, yeah. Yes. The amazing part is that I was able to not get higher ever again. I'm being able to change not only my life, but my kids' life, my family life. I have purchased so many real estate now. I have done many flips. And I have done so well. I mean, not only that I own a wholesaling company, but I also do flipping. I also buy and hold. And I have done multifamily deals, right? I do a little bit of everything. I have notes that I have created. I do owner finance. I do rent to own, and you name it. So ask me a question and I can answer it for you.